Alright, so starting off, I just want to go over kind of the first thing that happened to me. Now, starting out, I'm going to start with a few different pieces. Just want to say my first few things started out being, my issues started out being with color. The next thing, print. The next thing started to be color. So first we're going to start with print. Print is an issue depending on what company you use. So I use Teespring, and the first thing I would say is do your research. I'll, like I said, do a story as to how I started out just jumping out the gate, trying it. Starting out, you need to worry about the company that you are partnering with. If you're doing it yourself, then you still need to do testing, test the print quality, whether you're doing different paper, you're doing different, like whatever method you're using for print. I'm gonna use adhesive. Whatever adhesive method you're using. If you're doing vinyl, you're doing the printer, whatever you're doing, you just need to take your time and look at the different options that you have. And to be honest, you're not going to know what really works for you unless you try it out. So no matter if you're doing on demand or you're doing it yourself, just take that time. And if you're not sure, just try. You know what I'm saying? Take a few dollars and just try. If you don't have the money to waste, do more research. Definitely. And if you can talk to somebody who will be honest with you, do so. Me, I don't really communicate with that many people. I'm not going to say I didn't have anyone because I don't know, but it was one of those things. It was just one of those things. So starting out, I started with Teespring, and they do the method of sublimation. So do your research, you see how sublimation actually works, but it's pretty much going into the fabric. So starting out, you can see these little cracks. This is after the first wash. Also with sublimation, you want to go for lighter color garments. So with Teespring, I have lighter color garments because they do sublimation. And sublimation is not sitting on top of the garment, just sitting on top. It's actually fused in the fabric, so to speak. So with this, really, it's like you can scratch it off, or dang near, if you rub hard enough, you can rub it off. So that was my issue. Starting out, I washed this the first time, and I'm like, oh, nah. You see these cracks? Like, no. So I had to take a few different things down, but as I, like I said, learned and kind of just worked out the kinks, I understood what was going to work, what's not going to work so well. Which is funny because on certain garments, even though it's a darker color, I think it's the material too, that makes a difference. How thick it is, how thin it is, and all of those different things is a factor. But this right here is thick. It's a thick quality. It's like, I think it's heavy blend. This is also cotton. Now, sublimation on cotton, it gets a little iffy. It's actually 50-50. So polyester, it should merge with the fabric a lot better with polyester versus cotton. So this is 50-50, 50 cotton, 50 polyester, but honestly, some parts of this is on still pretty well, but it's cracking, and I'm not with the cracking. If I wanted a vintage type of look and I wanted it to look worn out, that's cool. But for me personally, what I'm going to have to do is for these kind of hoodies, I'm going to have to go with the, not screen print. Screen print would be good, but I'm going to have to go with more of, not a sublimation, but heat press So it'll actually be sitting more on top of the fabric, but it'll also give me that look that I was actually going for. More so with this was cool, but even when it was a little bit better, it still had this certain look to it. But it was cool because of the design. It was okay, but yeah, I'm not really getting jiggy with it. Also, on the actual hoodie, because again, I just got the sample. This has like more of a space in between it, where you can see like the pink coming through, and also on here. But anyway, so I got this redone. I reached out to Teespring for them to redo this hoodie. So this is the second hoodie. This is the one that was actually redone. Now, as you can see, the logo on the front is not as bad as the back, but this is after just one wash. Now, I'm going to show you the other one after one wash, and then when I washed it again, it just really got horrible. This is the first one. Yeah, so this is the first one. And you see, yeah, choppy and black. The black is really what was taken, especially on the logo on the front. And this hoodie was not going to be like this. It was actually going to be a little bit different, but see that? All of that just ate up on the side. So now you can't even tell the fade part anymore. It's just gone. So I'm going to also show you this because my issue really was with the sweatshirts. And this is only with Teespring. Now I'm going to talk about the company that I'm using now. And their print is a lot better now. Also, this is with certain hoodies too with Teespring. So with this one with Gildan, it's a little bit, I don't know. Teespring and Gildan, when it comes to the sweatshirts, I just feel like the process of how they do sublimation is just not sticking to the fabric. This is Hanes, but even with this one, after I think I washed it the first time I got it, my mother has worn this one time, so it's only been washed 2 times, and look at that. Yeah, so it's really the black that's really getting done bad. Because the yellow is pretty decent. You can tell some cracks in the yellow. See if you can get that. Yeah, you can tell some cracks in the yellow, but yeah. So this is my issue, and then take the front. So yeah, so that was my issue starting out with Teespring. I'm just gonna talk about Teespring right now. So starting out with them is just kind of figuring out what works best on what. So with sublimation, like I said, I learned one, lighter color garments, more so of the white and like really bright colors. So this is not that bright. It's coming off actually a little bit darker on camera, but this, and of course this is not that bright. It's bright in terms of what we consider bright, but it's like a hot peak. So starting out with the color, it's more of like a white, a very light like blue would work. Funny enough, I feel like I never got anything in the white to actually test that theory, but I think it's just their print quality when it comes to sweatshirts. That's my issue. Sweatshirts and hoodies with them. So that's why if you look on my Teespring account, you don't really see any sweatshirts or hoodies anymore. because of that issue. You really only pretty much see like t-shirts, maybe socks, and anything that's all over print, because I'm going to show you how the all over print looks. If you've seen my intro, you see the Toxic Revelation hoodie or sweatshirt. That print is excellent. The quality is excellent. So pretty much however your design looks is how it's going to come out. So that was good. It's just what I had to, figure out dealing with them, what works and what does not work for me and my brand, and seeing if I have to, one, do some other things myself or just find a different company, So that's where we are with that. Alright, now this is the first thing that I've ever done from Teespring, and it was a t-shirt that I wanted to do. Now this is excellent. This is what I mean by they do great on t-shirts and white, more so than a sweater. Outside of all over print polyester, this is 100% cotton, but it's in white. So this locked into the fabric pretty well. This is really not going anywhere. This is like the fabric basically, but it's not really the same. Like on the hoodie, it's like a rubberized texture. It's like a rubberized texture. This just smooth. So this came out quite well. V-neck, Bella canvas, came out great. I definitely don't think I'm gonna have any issues with this shirt in terms of washing. So that gave me an idea of kind of what they can deal with and what they cannot. But at the time I had in my mind that it was like kind of on the level, I guess, of screen printing. That's really what I thought they were going to be doing, but it was sublimation, and that's when I had to learn about sublimation, because I only knew about heat transfer paper, vinyl, which I really like vinyl, and honestly I feel like screen printing or vinyl would be so excellent with this design. So that's another thing, learning what design requires what kind of method. And I really think screen print or vinyl would really make this pop. So next I'm gonna go to another t-shirt. This is Gildan. The other was Bella Canvas. This is actually Gildan 100%. So this looks pretty good. I did notice it did lose a little bit of the black, and to be honest with you, just a little bit, really not too much that you'll really even be able to tell. You can see a little bit, but it actually looks good. And then what's funny is it looks very clean here, but I went back and redid this design and cleaned it up. Yeah, they did a good job with whatever they did on their end, but I'm going to show you the pants, the all over print, what it looks like when you enlarge this design to the magnitude that I did, which is why I definitely had to clean it up for the joggers. I'm going to order me some more so you'll know what they actually look like. Now, if you've already watched some of my videos and you've seen it, which is the blue, I liked it cleaner. So I'm just, order that so people know when I actually wear it, advertise it, that it's legit clean. And I'm going to show you how I've cleaned the design up on a different hoodie that I've actually ordered, but from a different company, because their print is better on hoodies. But yeah, they did pretty okay on the t-shirts. I'm just not feeling the hoodies at all. So before I get into the hoodies, before I get into the all over print joggers, because I actually love how they turned out, I'm going to kind of get into a little of the accessories. So I've worn this thing to death and back. But this is actually, I loved when I first got this. It came out excellent. It really did. I just like the quality. This has been washed, worn, everything, so it's not looking as pristine as it did at first. But the color, oh my god, the color pop crazy. It's actually a little bit lighter than it's showing up on camera, but yes, they did well with the mask. Well with the mask, the gator mask. They did excellent. I don't know. Let's see what the tag say in terms of material. So this is 95% spun polyester and 5% spandex. But there we go again with the polyester and how sublimation works with polyester versus cotton and certain kind of cotton and color. All of these things are things you need to learn when you figure out, again, what would possibly look best with what design or certain designs, and also fabric. Also, basically just what is it that you're trying to do. But I'm going to get a little bit more technical. Next, we have the socks. Now, I thought these socks was going to be regular cotton socks, but 9 times out of 10, these are probably like a polyester blend too because of the material. But anyway, I love these socks. I just don't like that when they stretch, they lose their clarity. Those type of socks. I'm not really liking that. But they look good though. They look good. Well, they look nice. Just so, the last thing is the fanny pack. So the fanny pack is cool. I feel like they pretty much did a fanny pack is cool. I feel like they did a pretty decent job. The colors look a little bit washed out on camera, but they did a pretty good job in terms of the print quality. It's also the material. I can see easily how how ink could, attach itself to this kind of fabric, so no real complaints. I wish it would have had a little bit more sharpness to it, because on camera it looks really, really sharp. But you can see right there, it's not as sharp. But it's still pretty cool. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. And now we're gonna get to the joggers. I'm gonna start with these. I love these fucking joggers, bro. Start off with the front, and this is 100% polyester. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why it merged very well with sublimation. So starting off with the leg, it has a Vnechi on the front, Vnechi, with a piece around the leg, but it's not gonna go all the way around. I didn't really want all of that. You can get the idea from there. But anyway, front is just the leg, and this at the bottom, and a little bit of this here. Again, this is the one I was talking about me having to clean up the design. Because if you see that right there on the sides. And my hands look dark on this camera. Well, you see just a few things, and like I said, it still could go. You know, I'm still going to rock it because they still look good. But it's certain things I wanted to definitely clean up after enlarging the actual design. Once I actually ordered the new ones that has the clean design on them, it's gonna be fire. But you can tell, because I can do something easily to make that pop still in terms of putting the outfit together. But just so you know, if you get these joggers, you will have a cleaner design. I'm going to, and if you still like this look and you want to get them with the, like, I say like pixelated type of look, then just let me know. But other than that, all of that's cleaned up. Toxic Revelation joggers. See the yellow. This is the basic color of the actual pants. And then this is the design on the front. And this really has that like caution type of wave. It goes down to the arm. The yellow leg. And we have this side. Comes down, toxic. Going off on the side. And goes down to the yellow. Getting in the pockets. Bag, down, with the yellow side. Pretty good design at the bottom, and yeah, I really, like I said, like the joggers, but it's all about just learning the company that you're dealing with, and also learning how they can pretty much just benefit you and your brand, what you can use them for, and what you have to possibly do yourself or go to someone else for. This is if you are using print on demand, and you don't really either have the space, energy, the time, whatever it is as to why you don't want to go through the process of finding your own vendors. This is a lot of different ways to start up a clothing line. It's not like it used to be. You don't have to do it yourself. I'm going to say some things it is good to do yourself because it gives you a lot more range in terms of freedom, creativity, because there's certain things I want to do myself because I have certain ideas. Because I'm a designer at heart. So yeah. Alright, I'm about to go because I didn't talk forever. And yeah. Y'all make sure y'all be light, stay blessed, and Vnechi V7.